This is Love Notes, daily devotions from Holy Trinity Lutheran Church. Grace and peace to you. Our text today is John, the 18th chapter, verses 28 through 32. It says, now back inside, they took Jesus from Caiaphas to Pilate's headquarters. Apparently Caiaphas didn't have anything to add. Of course he didn't. The matter's been decided. They were going to kill this man, Jesus, well, since he raised Lazarus from the tomb and before. So it was a perfunctory pass-off from Annas to Caiaphas and now to Pilate, because they need his permission for death to occur. It was early in the morning. It's the morning of the day of preparation, if we're looking at the timeline properly. The day of preparation for Passover is the day in which preparations for the Lamb, who will bear the sins of the world, who will make death pass over, are made. Because it was the day of preparation, they themselves did not enter the headquarters so as to avoid ritual defilement and to be able to eat the Passover. This is a huge irony. You might almost laugh out loud if you read this carefully. They did not enter the headquarters so as to avoid ritual defilement. One who was Jewish, who was about to celebrate the Passover, if you walked into a Gentile's house, you were declared unclean for a particular period of time, and so you'd miss the Passover. Well, we don't want to do that. This holy day is upon us. And so let us make sure that we pass off Jesus to be killed, the light of the world to be rejected, and don't get ourselves dirty. Because they wouldn't enter the house, Pilate goes out to them. And he says to them, what accusation do you bring against this man? It's a fairly simple thing. It's a transfer thing. In other words, what are the charges? What paperwork have you got filled out that tell me, as the judge, what case I'm trying here? Is it a felony? Is it a misdemeanor? Is it overthrowing the government? Is it murder? What is it? They answered him, if this man were not a criminal, we would not have handed him over to you. Well, that's the best non-answer you can give, huh? They haven't got any charges. It's all trumped up. They haven't got anything that they can say. They just want him dead and gone, and now they want to drag Pilate into the midst of this. Well, Pilate apparently is not a dumb man. He probably wouldn't have gotten to his position if he was. He looks at them and says, probably insulted, take him yourselves and judge him according to your law. He knows all about the Jews and how many laws they have. So you go ahead and take him. Don't involve me in this if you can't even tell me what he did. And the Jews replied, we are not permitted to put anyone to death. Now it becomes clear. They just need a murderer, a contract for hire, somebody to get rid of the garbage as they've come to see Jesus. They need to put him to death. The interesting thing is, Jesus has known he's going to the cross all along. And so who's really in control here? Pilate? Caiaphas? Annas? Or Jesus? In verse 32, we're told this was to fulfill what Jesus had said when he indicated the kind of death he was to die. Jesus has come to save the world, and this is what it will take. And so he surrenders himself. He surrenders himself to the injustice and the hatred and to the phony trial and to everything else so that God's purposes may move forward. May we look at the way this world works and how we participated in it. May we look and see how often it is that we think we're in charge when it's actually God who is driving the world driving the world to its point of hope and grace and mercy and life. Amen.